your full-time jobs. Forget about recruiting, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. That's expresspros.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Another win for the Lakers, another milestone for LeBron. The Lakers extended their winning streak to 7 games after their 136-115 win over New Orleans at Crypto.com. First 7-game winning streak for the Lakers since February 12, 2021. As for LeBron, he became the first NBA player to score a combined 50,000 points in the regular season and playoffs. The 22-year veteran passed the 50,000 mark on his first shot, a three-pointer with 8 minutes left in the first quarter. LeBron finished with 34 points. He now has 41,871 in the regular season and 8,162 in the playoffs. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Put this man in the Hall of Fame right now. The Clippers have lost 3 straight. They had a 19-point lead in Phoenix at the start of the fourth quarter and couldn't hold it. Phoenix fought back to pull out a 119-117 win. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Who cares about the black community in Altadena? We do. On Saturday, March 8th at 10 a.m., it's the premiere of Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr. This new weekly show will explore the deep roots and resilience of Altadena's black community as we track its recovery and reimagine its future. From relief efforts to rebuilding, we're raising up voices, stories, and solutions to build back Black Altadena better and stronger than ever. It's Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr every Saturday at 10 a.m. beginning Saturday, March 8th with an encore presentation, Sundays at noon.
James Farr, the man who is the voice for Black Los Angeles.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I'm Tavis, Smiley. Glad to have you with us in this third and final hour of our program today. Let me move swiftly because I got a few people to talk to in this hour. He's Minnesota. I just talked to a guy from Minnesota Law School. Too many M's. Memphis Congressman, my longtime friend, Steve Cohen. Congressman Cohen, how are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you, Tavis.
It's good to hear your voice. So we've been talking for the better part of our show today about what I call the Capitol Circus last night. Put another way, it was a spectacle, the likes of which I have never seen. Every Democrat member of Congress had their own way of responding, protesting, pick your word. What was your choice last night? What did you do?
I watched it on television in my pajamas and a nice Italian meal I got from down the street. I put notice out on Blue Sky that I was hashtag SOTU, State of the Union, I'm out. And then I mentioned the fact that he was emotionally, morally, and intellectually incapable of being president, and I didn't want to watch his speech, which would be a MAGA circus, a MAGA pep rally, and I had no desire to go and participate in such.
You pretty much just answered my question, but tell me more about your decision to just not attend. Again, everybody had their own way of protesting. We'll talk to Al Green later in this hour, who got escorted out last night, but your option was just to not show up. Tell me more about how you came to that decision.
I did not attend his inauguration in 2017 nor in 2021.
Right.
I did attend at least one, if not two, I guess, of his State of the Unions, because I think I had the displeasure of seeing Rush Limbaugh get a Medal of Honor during the program. And I guess after that, I just realized the man is just a despicable human being. He's just going to get worse, and he continues to get worse. And the speech last night was the worst. And I knew it would be long, and it was long, and as soon as it was over, I did watch it. I went to bed.
Yeah, not just long. Not just long, but the longest, 100 minutes, the longest ever by a president before a joint session of Congress. Just watching my timer, I got 4 or 5 minutes left with you right quick here. What is your sense of the way that Democrats ought to move going forward? Again, everybody had a different way of approaching this last night, but in terms of what you heard and in terms of the resistance, the response that Democrats are going to have to engage as one Democratic member of Congress, what's your sense of how Democrats ought to move in the days ahead?
I think we need to take opportunities to speak to people such as you and be on speak to your crowd and let people know that we're fighting, that we're against what's going on, but we are in the minority, and they have the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court. There's only so much we can do, but we need to keep the word going, and the public needs to get involved. If they have Republican senators, they need to contact them, or Republican House members. They might make a difference. But the public needs to stay involved, and they need to also mobilize and participate in demonstrations that are being held around the country at different times. Restrictions or times to boycott spending at large national companies, which I think happened last week. I don't know how it did, but hopefully it did well. And to participate and let your voice be known. And I think the public is demonstrating at Tesla dealerships and letting their voices be known there, too. And those things affect Musk, and that affects Trump.
Practically speaking, what can Democrats do? I mean, you're in the minority in the House. You're in the minority in the Senate. Trump controls the White House. Trump controls the Supreme Court. Obviously, elections have consequences. But in this moment, what can Democrats really do, given the agenda that he's running?
We do have a forum where we can speak out, and we do that. And we do it as a group as well. Hakeem Jeffries had remarks on the steps of the Capitol with most of the members of the caucus standing there behind him. But the House has very limited because it's 50 votes. We can hold our support from Speaker Johnson in trying to get a budget which expires the continuing resolution on the 14th of March and make them get the votes, or have them shut down the government and be on their watch, which I think people know will be. They want to destroy the government, not just shut it down. The Senate, though, you can take 60 votes to pass a bill now. They've got filibuster and take 60 votes. So 8 Democrats would have to go along with any Republican proposal, and the Democrats in the Senate can stop some legislation, and they have certain procedural opportunities to hold up promotions, as Tommy Tuberville did in a stupid manner on generals, and there's certain other ambassadors and all that could be held up. And the Senate votes on confirmations, and they can hold those up, too. They don't have a majority, but they can hold them up on the floor for some period of time. So certain things can be done, and then there's just the power of the pulpit and the power of the public forum and the bullhorn, and we've got that. And then we participate with the legal groups that are taking the legal challenges, and we both our leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, and in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, they have interchanges constantly, and I'm on a committee in the House that deals with the litigation response. There's litigation, there's legislation, there's mobilization, and the public's involved in mobilization, legalization. We work with these different unions and different groups like Democrats, Forward Democrats, to bring actions in the courts to hold Trump's feet to the fire. We've been pretty successful with that to date. And I think we had a win at the Supreme Court today, 5-4. Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts voted with the 3 Democrats to not support Trump's trying to stop $2 billion in aid to go to foreign aid. So, John Roberts is a possible stop, and I've seen Amy Coney Barrett do some good things, too. I never expect Alito or Thomas to ever do a good thing at all.
Yeah. I got 45 seconds here. I raised this issue earlier in today's program. I've raised it in days past, and that is the people that are many of the people that are going to be hurt by what Trump's proposing, as you well know, are in red states like yours in Tennessee. You happen to be a longtime Democrat from Memphis, but you're surrounded by a sea of red. What's your sense of the way that people in red states may feel so put upon at some point that may be the saving grace, the one thing that slows him down?
Well, at some point they're going to understand it, because the price of housing is going to go up, the price of cars is going to go up, cell phones is going to go up. There's so many things, and groceries are going to go up. And he promised on day one he was going to deal with inflation and reduce the price of people's groceries, et cetera, and he hadn't done it. So it'll come to them quickly. Farmers in the red states they've not going to get farm subsidies. They've got products that have gone on through USAID that's sitting and wasting, and they're not going to get that USAID funding opportunities to feed people in Africa and other places where we help feed the world. So it's going to come home to them. It may take a little time, but it will, and they'll see, I didn't vote for this shit.
He's longtime Democratic Congressman Steve Cohen out of Memphis. Always delighted to talk to him to take his temperature on this again. It's fascinating to be a Democratic member, longtime Democratic member of Congress from a very red state. So I wanted to take his temperature on what he saw last night.
But we're a blue spot. And we're proud of it.
I love it.
And we want to be. And Canada should not be the 51st state. Memphis should be.
Yeah, well, Justin Trudeau said that ain't going to happen. He is a blue spot in a red state, and I'm always honored to be in dialogue with him. When we come forward, we'll talk to William Barber on his alternative speech last night. We will talk to Al Green being escorted out last night. We got some more show in front of us. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce that like George and Weezy,
Well, we're moving on now.
earlier this year, we were named as semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Wait for it. Wait for it.
You ready?
KBLA Talk 1580 was recently selected as one of 10 finalists being considered for this prestigious award. Hundreds of organizations, institutions, and even cities were nominated in the selection process. But KBLA Talk 1580 has made it to the finals. You're invited to watch live on Wednesday, April 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, as Eco America announces the winner and the runner-up, awarding over $200,000 in prize money. To watch live, just go to ecoamerica.org to register and attend the online ceremony. That's ecoamerica.org. Don't miss the presentation of the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025, Wednesday, April 16th, and wish us luck. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
All right, a busy third hour here. We'll get to Al Green in just a few moments, who was escorted out of the Capitol last night during the Capitol Circus. But as promised now, a conversation with the Reverend Dr. William Barber, our friend. If you listened to me yesterday, you heard me talk about this. If you listened to the first hour today, you heard Cornel West and yours truly talking about this. We love William Barber. I'm just not sure that I understand why he did what he did last night. I'll let him explain it in his own words. My view, as I've said publicly, is that you shouldn't tell people to tune out of the president's speech. We can't know how to respond if we don't know what he said. And so my view is that Reverend Barber should have given this talk, I think, after the fact, not during. Want to be fully transparent about that. He's my friend, my brother. We don't have to agree on everything. I want to hear his side of, hear his point of view on that. Before I do that, I'm going to give you some sound in case you did not hear my friend Reverend Barber last night, some sound for what he had to say in his alternative address last evening.
Somewhere I read like that, we got the right to freedom of speech. We got the right to assembly. We got the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have all these rights. It's time now to believe it, stand on it, believe it, don't back up from it. We in this moment must use every moral tool at our disposal and every nonviolent method to embolden and intensify our agitation for love and justice and righteousness. Stand up in every pulpit. Stand in every federal job. Stand and protest and expose what they're doing. Stand with every American, no matter who they are. If they believe in one nation under God, indivisible, with life, liberty, and justice for all, stand with them. Flood the congressional phone lines. Flood them with calls of protest and moral dissent. Stand up in the town halls. Go to the offices. Stand with facts and with faith. Stand and don't bow down and declare as long as you got breath in your body, as long as you clothed in your right mind, as long as you have a portion of health and strength, because you care about this generation and the generation behind you, stand up, because God can do more with the remnant that will stand than a crowd that will bow. Stand, stand, and don't let anything keep you from standing, because bowing down is not an option now.
I love William Barber with every fiber of my being. I think he knows that, and I love the message that you just heard him deliver. I was concerned about the timing of that message last night, William Barber. Cornel West was on earlier today. Jesse Jackson Jr. and I were in this conversation yesterday, and we were questioning the timing. And I was not a fan of Roland Martin and others telling people to tune out the speech to tune into you. I always want to hear what you have to say, but we can't put our heads in the sand and be unaware of what he was saying in real time. But I want to hear your response for why you decided to do it at the same time. Talk to me, Doc.
Well, Doc, first of all, it's good to be on with you, and you're right. We are friends. We're in the midst of all of this. We have to, struggle with it and debate. We took that position for the inaugural speech. We actually had listening groups all over the country on King Holiday, and normally, and we took that position, and normally I would take that same position, and for the rest of the inaugural speeches I will as well. But one of the things that Roland asked me to come on is because our people, for instance, are so misinformed around what is actually going on, other than what he said in his speech last night, actually what he didn't talk about. And so we had just done a report from the Institute for Policy Studies, and what I spent 22 minutes on last night is helping people to really understand why the Congress has to be our target and what this budget is doing, and how I talked to them about how Bannon said that what they've asked Trump to do is to do 100 days of thunder with EOs, executive orders that do not carry the weight of law, to just keep people's attention off of things like what's happening with the House budget resolution and the Senate resolution. Also, we got a copy of his pre-speech and made sure that we had gone through it, knew what was in it, where he was going from, and we knew he was going to go on for almost 2 hours. And then we would have been talking to our people in the latest part of the night, when many of them, have to do different things. And we knew also that today we just had 400 clergy going into the rotunda of the Capitol and all of the leadership office of the Senate and the House taking our demands on this report and a call for repentance. I said, I'm just leaving the Capitol now.
Right.
And calling for to repentance. So I think that you're exactly right. There's different reasons we can say. I think those who watched it should have. Those who didn't, we did that piece in the future. I'm an advocate for you have to know what your adversary is talking about, and that's one of the reasons I made sure we pulled that the pre-speech that he did. But part of what was happening last night, it was getting us on track, because I'm gonna tell you, Tavis, I've been concerned in this moment. Right after the election, you had some folk wanted to jump and do boycotts. You wanted to do boycotts on Target and take the Target off of Trump. And I was like, well, why are we doing that? Why is that the focus and not the things that are really, when you pass something in that Congress, and this is what I'm trying to get folks to focus on, the Congress carries the weight of law. What they pass, you can't take it to court. An EO, an executive order, you can take it to court. And when I read and heard Steve Bannon out of his own mouth say this, and I can say it real quickly, he said their goal was to attack and undermine 4,000 federal jobs so that they could control 10 million, the other 10 million jobs, so that they could control the $5.5 trillion budget and then control the $76 trillion of assets. I mean, Bannon actually laid out what the plan is, right? And so if you listen to the piece I did last night, part of it was actually laying that out for folks. And then the second part was actually going in and helping folks understand the budget resolutions and what's coming down the pipe and the way in which that's going to hurt not just black people, but poor and low wealth people.
Yeah, I want to spend the last 5 minutes, and you got about 8 minutes left here. I want to spend the last 5 walking through the high moral stakes, our budget, our future, repairs of the breach, what you're on Capitol Hill for right now, trying to get Congress to take consideration of. I want to spend a few minutes letting you unpack that in detail, because I love, as always, the work that you are doing. I've said many times that I believe William Barber is the greatest moral leader in this country today. I still stand by that, even if we have disagreements about timing of this, that, or the other. He's my brother beloved, and I still think he's the greatest moral leader in this country right now on this issue of poverty. Nobody's advancing this agenda the way that he is, and I love him and respect him for it. That said, as I listened to you a moment ago, before I get to again your agenda and what you're on Capitol Hill for, as I listened to you, it occurs to me that I've been critiquing Democrats for not having their act together. Honestly, I can say the same thing about us. Not that black folk are we are not a monolith, but even in black America, I'm not sure we're ready for this moment, because our leaders are saying, some are saying do this, some are saying do this, some are saying go this direction, some are saying go that direction. And again, I'm not naive, nor are you. Even in the King era, it ain't like we were all on the same page then. So I'm not stuck on stupid, but I am concerned in this moment that we seem not to be clear about what our agenda is inside of black America, inside of the Democratic Party.
Well, I agree with that. And I think that part of it is folk are jumping off and doing things. We need an analysis. I said to you a few years ago, I believe moral fusion activism starts with an analysis.
Yes.
So that's why the first thing we did, we got 3 of the best think tanks in this country to do an analysis of every executive order that's been done, what it can do, what it can't do. People say, well, why are you being quiet? I said, because I'm trying to get understanding of what we really are.
Right.
And then we've done an analysis. I think I just sent you the executive bullet point of this, of what, in fact, could happen with this budget that's coming up, and why, Tavis, they are trying to pass it for 10 years.
Yep.
10 years from now will be 2035 when the demographics shift and black folk and brown folk will be in the majority. They're trying to pass a budget that by that time they will have gutted all the money out of the federal government.
Let me run. I'm sorry, Doc. Let me run right quick through this list. It's called the high moral stakes, our budget, our future. This is what Dr. Barber is doing on Capitol Hill right now, trying to draw attention to this, because if they have their way, here's what's about to happen. There'll be cuts to the social safety net, Medicaid under siege, housing in crisis, Social Security and Medicare at risk, tax breaks for the ultra rich, eroding workers' rights, stripping away food assistance, mass deportation and immigrant injustice, militarizing the budget, threats of new wars. Those are the top 10 items on this list that Reverend Barber and others are trying to get members of Congress who have a conscience to take seriously. I've got 4 minutes. Tell me more.
Well, we're talking about, in one case, we're talking about 30 million people, Kevin, possibly being kicked off of something like Medicaid. I mean, we're not talking about 10, 12, or 1,000 people. We're talking about in the millions.
Yep.
And what it will do is devastate. And then on top of that, the Trump administration, the Musk administration have said they do not believe in raising the minimum wage, period, which means we're stuck at $7.25 for people, $2.13 for waiters. It's bad enough that Democrats didn't do it when they had the opportunity. But these folk are saying they don't even agree with it anyway. And there's no way Musk can cut $2 trillion from the budget mathematically without doing Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, which has a devastating impact on our community. Lastly, Tavis, the other thing we should see that's going on is 8 of them, but I can't go through all of them. One, what I want people to focus on is this philosophy of what we call the tyranny of technology, the dehumanization of people in the midst of this. And then the second is this decision they have made to force people to have to prove their existence. That traces right back to the slave papers. It traces back to South Africa where they had to have papers and Nazism. That's what was happening. When you send an email and say, prove to me that you exist, that's deeper, Doc, than just partisan stuff. That is a sick philosophy, and if it takes root in the society, it can be dangerous in many, many ways to who we are as a people, not just merely as a democracy.
Yep. Finally, in the 90 seconds I have, we heard your speech, and it was a good one. I mean, I expected that. Whenever you stand to a podium, you're going to kill it, and you did that amazingly well last night. I love the message, no question about that. What did you make of the spectacle last night in the Congress?
What we saw is a person committed to lies and a Congress that would invite him to give a speech and direct their committees to reinforce those lies with policies. That's the danger of it. Yeah. And then lastly, that here we have Trump, and I'll say Trump Musk. I'll never separate one from the other. Trump Musk, able to go in and talk in a way that continually pulls the wool over people's eyes. He went on and on and on, lie after lie after lie. Has violated the Constitution. There's a Yale professor that wrote a piece your listeners ought to read, says Trump is no longer president because every day he has violated the oath of his office. Every day. And that's a serious question for us. What do you do, Tavis, with somebody, but intensify and embolden your agitation against what they're doing?
Yeah.
When every day they violate the Constitution and violate everything that God says God hates.
Nope. It's a powerful point. I read that piece. I know the piece you referenced, and I did, in fact, read that. I appreciate Reverend Barber for taking the time. He literally is on Capitol Hill running around having meetings. In some ways, that's a lot more important than being on this radio program, but at least it's important for me, for the audience to hear what his agenda is, what he's working on, what he is doing, and I'm grateful that he stopped what he was doing to spend 15 minutes with his brother to explain what he said last night, why he's doing what he's doing. You should know I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, hey, Doc, the next one, let's watch it together and then do commentary after.
That's why I love William Barber. Honored to have him on this program and appreciate his work and his witness. When we come forward, the man who was escorted out last night, Al Green, Congressman Al Green of Houston, will be our guest on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump's historic address to Congress has caused fallout today. During the speech, Black Texas Democrat Al Green was escorted out for yelling at Trump. Today, Republicans are circulating a censure resolution against Green. Severe weather is impacting the eastern U.S. with powerful winds, blizzards, and thunderstorms. The East Coast faces severe thunderstorms, and the Carolinas and Virginia may experience tornadoes and intense winds today. 2 House Democrats are investigating the DOJ's dismissal of corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams, alleging a quid pro quo with the Trump administration. And the South by Southwest Festival kicks off Friday in Austin, Texas. It's a celebration of the tech, film, television, and music industries. The festival runs through March 15th and features numerous conferences, screenings, musical performances, and more. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about recruiting, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. That's expresspros.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Another win for the Lakers, another milestone for LeBron. The Lakers extended their winning streak to 7 games after their 136-115 win over New Orleans at Crypto.com. First 7-game winning streak for the Lakers since February 12, 2021. As for LeBron, he became the first NBA player to score a combined 50,000 points in the regular season and playoffs. The 22-year veteran passed the 50,000 mark on his first shot, a 3-pointer with 8 minutes left in the first quarter. LeBron finished with 34 points. He now has 41,871 in the regular season and 8,162 in the playoffs. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Put this man in the Hall of Fame right now. The Clippers have lost 3 straight. They had a 19-point lead in Phoenix at the start of the fourth quarter and couldn't hold it. Phoenix fought back to pull out a 119-117 win. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Life Source Whole Home Water Systems filter water from every tap. In honor of their anniversary, they're giving new customers a special offer. Call 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com. Warranty and offer restrictions apply.
There's new reaction following the Trump administration's sweeping efforts to cut the federal workforce.
Fired but not forgotten. The Testimony Project. Bearing witness, breaking silence, building community. KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to amplifying the voices of Black federal workers impacted by the mass firings. Rooted in the Black tradition of testimony, this initiative ensures that those who served us are not erased from history. Through firsthand accounts, investigative storytelling, and community-driven dialogue, we intend to expose injustice, preserve truth, and demand accountability. If you or someone you know has been forced out of federal employment due to the mass firings, please contact us at info@smileyaudiomedia.com or via the open mic feature on the KBLA 1580 app. We want to hear from you and share your story. KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
You carry a lot. The needs of your family and friends, the responsibilities of work and home, and that doesn't stop when your period starts. New Always Ultra Thin pads are designed to keep up with your busy life. When an unexpected gush hits, you need to trust that your pad has your back and your flow. With new and improved rapid dry technology, Always Ultra Thin now absorbs 3 times faster than the leading size 2 store brand pad, so you can feel cleaner, drier, and fresher. Always Ultra Thin. Always gush ready.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
I'm Tavis Smiley, and that is the other Al Green with that track Full of Fire. If you were listening in our very first hour today, you heard Dr. Cornel West and I talking about the love and respect we have for Congressman Al Green, and Dr. West, as he always does, brings in the music and made the brilliant connection between these two Al Greens. And he reminded us of this track that the other Al Green recorded many years ago called Full of Fire. And that's exactly what Congressman Al Green was full of last night, full of fire during Donald Trump's 100-minute, the longest ever address by a president to a joint session of Congress. And Al Green last night, Congressman Al Green had enough. And he stood his ground and put that cane up in the air and told him, sir, you do not have a mandate. If you missed what Congressman Al Green said last night, I want to play a clip for you, and then I am honored to have Al Green on the line for you to hear from him directly about what happened last night. And there is news now today that Republicans, no surprise here, have launched an effort to censure Representative Al Green for heckling Donald Trump. I told you in the first hour, when they called Barack Obama a liar, Democrats did nothing. That congressman sat there for the entirety of Barack Obama's speech. Republicans last night, Mike Johnson, the speaker, had escorted out Al Green almost immediately. But if you missed what happened last night, take a listen.
Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Congressman Al Green, there's the audio for those who missed it, but obviously you were the epicenter of the story last night, all over international news today. Are you? Just give me your reflections on last evening, sir.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And if I may just borrow a moment of time to mention Dr. West, he's someone that I have great admiration and respect for. he's one of the great intellectuals of our time. And he always has a way of helping us to see clearly. So thank you, Dr. West, wherever you happen to be. And I've known you for many years and always had great respect for the causes that you champion.
Thank you, sir.
You've been on the forefront of causes that others overlooked. So thank both of you.
Thank you, sir.
The moment was something that occurred with a great degree of spontaneity. I heard the president say that he had a mandate, and I took my coat and my cane, and I was about to depart when I just was overwhelmed with this belief that I had to say something. So I turned, and I did say to the president that he didn't have a mandate, and more specifically, he didn't have a mandate to cut Medicaid. And I focused on Medicaid because I have a good many constituents who need Medicaid. This is something that they have as their insurance. I have great insurance, but I don't think that I should allow what I have to cause me to conclude that others are doing well. And I know that they're not, and I know that if they cut it, these people are going to suffer. Some will die. So I spoke up on behalf of the persons who need Medicaid, and then I mentioned Social Security. Social Security has a cap in terms of how much of your income will be taxed, $176,100. And above that, you kind of exceed the cap, and you don't have to put money in as others do. More specifically, let me say it this way. If you make $176,100, 100% of your money will be taxed at 6.2% for your Social Security. And others above Elon Musk, $1 billion, well, I think we have to raise that cap and capture some more of those dollars so that we can protect Social Security. And I mentioned Medicare. Now, I heard the speaker when he gave me the admonitions. I respect the speaker. I did not take issue with his admonitions. And when he said that I should be removed from the chamber, the officer came over, was kind to me, and said some kind things to me as they took me away. But I do believe that John Lewis, whom I had the honor of being incarcerated with, he gave me sage advice when we were locked up in that cell. And he reminded me that if you engage in peaceful protest, you have to get in the way if you want to be efficacious. And when you get in the way, you are going to suffer some sort of sanction because that's what getting in the way is all about, to be disruptive. But be prepared to suffer the consequences. I tell all young people, if you're going to peacefully protest, do so. You're going to be disruptive. You'll get in the way, but you have to be prepared to suffer the consequences. So I'm prepared to suffer the consequences. This wasn't about me and consequences. This is about people who are suffering from illnesses that will not receive proper medical attention if they don't have Medicaid. And I said it then that the president has no mandate to cut it. I say it now. And if I'm sanctioned on the floor of the House and they're calling me in today to start the process, I will confess that I did what they say that I did, but I will also confess that this is a matter of conscience. And if placed in the same circumstance again, as a matter of conscience, I would do it again.
I've got goosebumps. I can just tell you, I've got goosebumps. I can only tell you, as Congressman Al Green was speaking, my mind went back to Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks sat down. She sat down, and they told her to stand up. She refused. Al Green stood up. They told him to sit down. He refused. That is the kind of courage and conviction and commitment and character that we need in this moment. You are listening to Representative Al Green, and I'm glad about it, on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stopped, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You've lost so much weight. How'd you do it?
I got medical treatment for weight loss through Zelty and lost 50 pounds. I struggled for the longest time, but Zelty makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelty providers can prescribe FDA-approved weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others.
I've heard those medications can help you lose weight, but aren't they expensive?
Zelty can help get the medication covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
What if you don't have insurance?
No problem. Zelty may be able to help you get other GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% off the price of name brand medications.
I'm ready to start losing weight. How do I get started with Zelty?
Just text.
Text SUNNY to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy and Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SUNNY to 200-300. That's SUNNY to 200-300. SUNNY to 200-300.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Who cares about the black community in Altadena? We do. On Saturday, March 8th at 10 a.m., it's the premiere of Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr. This new weekly show will explore the deep roots and resilience of Altadena's black community as we track its recovery and reimagine its future. From relief efforts to rebuilding, we're raising up voices, stories, and solutions to build back Black Altadena better and stronger than ever. It's Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr, every Saturday at 10 a.m. beginning Saturday, March 8th, with an encore presentation, Sundays at noon.
James Farr, the man who is the voice for Black Los Angeles.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Houston Congressman Al Green, who stood his ground last night and for standing his ground was escorted out of the Capitol in the midst of Donald Trump's 100-minute speech last night, the longest ever by a president. You heard Congressman Green and I discussing a moment ago that Republicans have announced today they are launching an effort to censure him for heckling Donald Trump. He is not going to back down from that. As he said, he'll admit what he did and suffer the consequences. Meanwhile, we are being told today by Al Green, Representative Al Green, that he is working on articles of impeachment against the president. You just heard William Barber on this program moments ago say that every day that Donald Trump is president, he really ain't president no more. He ain't president no more because every day, literally every single day, he is violating his oath of office. But Al Green is taking a step further, working on articles of impeachment against the president. Tell me more, Congressman.
Well, thank you for segueing into this because it is exceedingly important, and Dr. Barber is eminently correct. I am working on the articles, and I sincerely believe that when I expose them, people who are in tune with what you're doing will be in agreement with what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. These articles of impeachment will address his behavior that is causing harm to society. Bishop Barber told me when we last embraced articles of impeachment against this president that I should make sure that I indicated that they impacted policy. Mm-hmm. And that was great advice from Bishop Barber. I'll always remember it. And I assure you that I'm talking about policies that have been impacted by his behavior. And I will be presenting them. I can't say exactly when, because there are other things that I'm committed to, but I will be doing it within the near future.
Yeah. Let me just ask you a couple of personal questions, if I might. When the speaker made it clear last night, Congressman, that he was about to have you escorted out after he gave you a warning, did you ever think about taking your seat when he said, Mr. Green, please take your seat?
Candidly, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I did not.
Okay.
It did not occur to me that that would be the appropriate thing to do at that moment. For me, in that moment,
yes, sir,
the appropriate thing was to press on.
Yes.
To press on.
That's it.
Because we're in a position where the president has been told by the Supreme Court that he has a certain amount of immunity from litigation, and the House and the Senate are in his pocket, so they're not going to stand. And there's this song with the words, after you've done all that you can.
That's it.
Just stand.
That's it.
Just stand.
That's it.
That was the moment. We've done all we can, so now I'm going to stand. But I'm going to stand for something. I'm not just going to stand and do something arbitrary and capricious. I just decided I was going to stand. And I stood until I was trying to be respectful, until the officers came over, and they were kind to me to take me away. But I was willing to suffer the consequences for standing.
In our remaining moments with Congressman Al Green, when we come forward, I want to ask him whether or not he thought, Cornel West and I were discussing this in our first hour today, our disappointment that others did not walk out with him, that other Democrats, other members of the CBC did not walk out with him. Everybody has their own agency. I ain't mad at folks for making their own decisions. I'm just telling you what Cornel West thought and what I thought about the fact that others did not sojourn with him when he was escorted out of that place. And, of course, I want to close also on a note of condolence to Houston Mayor, longtime Houston Mayor, and U.S. Congressman Sylvester Turner, who was at that speech last night and passed away some hours later. We'll close on that note, offering our, again, condolences to his family and to the entire city of Houston, and certainly those in the district of Sylvester Turner. You're listening to Al Green, Congressman Al Green, on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Think about your mentors and idols, the people who inspire you the most. While it may look like they have all the answers, they don't. But they do know when to ask questions and seek the support they need. In a world that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better with a support system. Therapy is a great way to find a consistent source of support in your life, so you can break free from the outdated belief that seeking help is a sign of weakness. BetterHelp has experienced therapists ready to help you with challenges ranging from anxiety and depression to relationships and stress. It's convenient, too. You can join a session with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. You can even send your therapist a message anytime something comes up. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABCRadio today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ABCRadio.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
When you've done all you can, and it seems like it's never enough. And what do you say when your friends turn away? You're all alone, all alone. Tell me, what do you give when you're giving your all, and seems like you can't make it through? Well, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You just stand, watch the Lord see you through. Yes, after you've done all you can, you just stand.
That's what Congressman Al Green did last night. He just stood. And when the speaker said, take your seat, he said, no, sir. And he told us moments ago that whatever the consequences are, censure or beyond, he'll deal with it. Congressman, I've just got 3 minutes left here. When you were escorted out, did you expect or hope or believe or not think at all about the fact that others did not follow your lead last night?
Well, first of all, the song causes tears to well in my eyes, to be very candid with you. And last night, I wasn't thinking about the other people around me. I really wasn't. I know Senator Booker was there, and there were others all around me. And these are all good people. Mm-hmm. But I have concluded in my life, with the little bit that I have left, that there are some things that are so important, so precious, and so meaningful that it is on these issues better to stand alone than not stand at all. Woo! And that was my position. I was going to stand. It didn't matter whether others stood with me. Stand alone rather than not stand at all. I thank you, dear brother.
In these last 30 seconds, I offer my condolences to your colleague, Sylvester Turner, the longtime mayor of Houston. He took over that seat after Sheila Jackson Lee passed away.
Yes.
It's a historic seat. Barbara Jordan, Mickey Leland, Sheila Jackson Lee, Sylvester Turner. He was at the speech last night, passed away hours later. Just say a brief word about Sylvester Turner, sir.
Yes, a good man. He was there through the storms, and he was there through the pandemic, and made a difference in the lives of people. And was a great orator, I might add. He would always reach a crescendo at the end of his speech, and his last words would be, "To God be the glory." To God be the glory, dear brother. I know you've gone home, but I got to tell you, we're going to miss you here. He was a wonderful person. Thank God for it.
As are you, and we thank God for you, Congressman Green. You inspired us. I believe that courage is contagious. That's my belief, and I'll stand with it. Courage is contagious, and your courage last night is going to inspire a lot of people, including yours truly. I love you, and I thank you for your time, sir. All the best to you.
Thank you, dear brother.
Good to have you on.
Thank you, dear brother. Thank you.
Until tomorrow, keep the faith.
After you've done all you can, after you've gone through the hurdle, after you've gone through the pain, oh my, after you've gone through the storms, hallelujah. After you've gone through the rain.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump's historic address to Congress has caused fallout today. During the speech, Black Texas Democrat Al Green was escorted out for yelling at Trump. Today,